لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Salamun alaikum, dear brothers and sisters, viewers of Salam TV. We will continue our program about Quran and science from creation to concealment, and we were talking about the theory of Darwin and the theory, which is still a theory that is trying to survive, but not for a long time. So we talked about the 8 ayahs in the Quran talking about the creation of the universe, the creation of life and death on planet Earth, and the creation of miracles, miraculous creation. So we're going to review those 8 ayahs in the beginning of the program pretty fast, because we already discussed them in the last program. And then I would bring you some ayahs from Surah Anbiya. Surah Anbiya, talking about Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, when he confronted the idol worshippers, and the conversation that happened between them, between Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, and the idol worshippers. And we would compare that way of thinking and that conversation to what's happening today in our society. Because the idea of putting aside religion and guidance and the light of guidance from God was that people started thinking they are getting more and more intelligent. And with the advance of science and so-called democracy and human laws, human beings don't need religious guidance anymore. They are mature enough and intelligent enough to find their own way. And unfortunately today, even in between Islamic scholars and even some Shia, so-called Shia scholars, sometimes you hear those nonsense. People talking about the intellectual maturation of human beings, so they don't need all the laws and regulations of the book, of the Quran, because we are now intellectually mature enough, socially mature enough to choose and to make our own rules and regulations. So I would compare the conversation between the idol worshippers at the time of Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, and what today the so-called top intellectuals in our universities, in our major scientific magazines are talking about. And you would see that there is not that much difference between idol worshippers 5,000 to 6,000 years ago and people who are against religion today. So let's start from the 8 ayahs in the Quran that are talking about the way of creation of the universe, human beings, and miracles, miraculous creation on planet Earth. Number 1, Surah Baqarah. The first slide, Surah Baqarah, ayah number 117. Wonderful originators of the heavens and the earth. And when he decrees an affair, he only says it to be, and so there it is. Kun fayakun. It means God says be, and it comes into existence. That's basically how you can translate kun fayakun. Surah Al Imran, ayah number 47. We talked about it last week, about the miraculous creation of Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him. Mary saying, my Lord, when shall there be a son to me? And man has not touched me. He said, even so, Allah creates what he pleases. When he has decreed a matter, he only says to be, and it is. Kun fayakun. Surah Al Imran, ayah number 59. Surely the likeness of Isa is with Allah as the likeness of Prophet Adam. He created him from dust, then said to him, be, and he was. Kun fayakun. Surah An'am, ayah number 73. And he it is who created the heavens and the earth with truth. And on the day he says, be, it is. Okay? I'm not going to continue the rest of the ayah, but again, kun fayakun. Surah Nahl, ayah number 40. Our word for a thing when intended, it is only that we say, kun fayakun, be, and it is. Surah Maryam. It beseems not Allah that he should take to himself a son. Glory be to him. When he has decreed a matter, he only says to it, be, and it is. Kun fayakun. Surah Yasin, ayah number 82. His command when he intends anything is only to say to it, be, and it is. Again, kun fayakun. And last one, Surah Ghafir, ayah number 68. He is who gives life and brings death. So when he decrees an affair, he only says to it, be, and it is. Kun fayakun. Now, so we saw that God 1,400 years ago gave the direction for human beings. So they would not go astray. So they would not take wrong directions. They would not invent wrong theories that not only would stall human being in a scientific stagnation, but also would create an atmosphere of hate, racism, fascism, and some people saying that we are better than others. So God, by saying that I'm the creator and the originators of the earth and the heavens, I'm the originators of life and death. No matter when I want to create something, I just say be, and it is. Kun fayakun. In 8 ayahs, God is telling us how we have to think about creation. Now let's see what happened between Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, and the idol worshippers of his time. Surah Anbiya, ayah number 52. And we're going to look at those ayahs one after the other. Then he said to his father and his people, what are these images to whose worship you claim? What are those idols that you are worshipping? Next ayah 53, they said, we found our fathers worshipping them. That's one of the main key for human beings going the wrong direction. Even today. When they are asked, why are you going to the wrong direction? Every prophet that came, you can now stop showing the slide, Hussein, I would appreciate it. Yeah. Every prophet that came had the first obstacle. He saw the first obstacle being that sentence. We found our fathers worshipping this way. We found our fathers doing this way. We found our fathers believing in this. And because we found our fathers, we have to follow them. And this mentality, brothers and sisters, is the source of so many problems in our society today. Go and talk to a Christian. Go and talk to a Jew and tell them why you would not consider reading the Quran, because you cannot say that 1.2 billion people around the world are absolutely wrong following the last prophet. You have to admit that something happened 1,400 years ago. Why you would not read the Quran and listen to some Muslim scholars to find out if Islam is the last religion and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his progeny, the last prophet. They would not even consider it. Do you know why? Because they didn't see their fathers doing the same thing. And they are blindfolded And being blindfolded, they are following their fathers, their grandfathers, and their ancestors all the way to the first generation that accepted that religion as a religion or that way of thinking. It's not always a religion. It can be a way of thinking that becomes the